Hello, welcome friends for the next episode, and this is the ninth episode in our technical series. In this series, I'm going to talk about the detailed master form. Detailed master form is the main form which I'm going to prepare today. Okay, and this form actually you have seen in many areas, like we have a sales order form, we have a sales line form, so we have a sub form also. So we are going to create that also, but let's go ahead by creating a master main table form. Okay, so the main table was the vehicle table. Okay, so we are going to prepare that, and with this to prepare that, we will use a form. We will create a form, and the form name will be convms vehicle table. So we have already prepared the table. If you have not uh, seen how to prepare the table in every video, I have also attached in the description a document. Okay, and from there you can download it and you can prepare. You can come on the episode number 1 to 9. Okay, that will help you out by step how we are preparing the development. Okay, so now I'm going to prepare the form. So to create a form, you can click on the solution or any of the folder available in the solution explorer. So I will go to the new item now, and over here I will click on the form. Under the form, we will give the form name as convms vehicle table. Okay, the form will be created, and whenever you will prepare a form, the form will have three sections. One is the design section, one is the table section, one is the preview section, and the pattern section. Okay, so secondly, what we have to do, we have to drag and drop the source. We need to tell that this particular form will be using which form. Okay, so you can also take a query also, but right now I'm not making it that much complex. I will keep it the convms vehicle table as a source of it. Okay, so now I have added this source. So this is actually a customer table, you can say, or in the standard application you in the customer master form where the multiple sub records are there. Okay, so this is the convms vehicle table. This is now done. Now we have a select convms source table and set the insert if and insert end property to no. What is insert if and insert end property? So whenever you will click on the whenever you will create a new field, or and you will open a new form, the line will always come at the end. Okay, the trigger the point will come at the end, and insert if empty, and we don't want to, if anybody comes up with and clicks on the next word line, it will create an empty record. Okay, and if you have added a primary key as a number sequence, okay, so which will be the primary key, the account num. Okay, and system will prepare a blank line. Okay, though a blank customer is not usable in the database, so we will mark these two properties as no. Okay, this might be required in some of the scenarios, so these two properties are important. Okay, so basis on this, now we have our this particular form is okay. So insertive property will create a new record if no records, if there are no records, which is undesirable for the main table and order header tables. Okay, the insert and property can also be undesirable if the user presses the down arrow key on the last record. A new empty record will be created, what I have told you. Okay, now we will come to the create the detail master form section 2. So here we have to use the label in the caption property of the design node. So we will go to the design node over here, and we will use the caption property, which is going to be the convms vehicle table. I am taking this as of now. So here you can see in the preview form. Okay, so instead of this, we will say what it is saying. Use the same label as a table for the caption property of the design node. Okay, so I will give the vehicles. Okay, or vehicle. Okay, no problem, let's give it a vehicles. Okay, so now we will go ahead, we'll set the title data source and the source data source properties to the table name. Okay, that is the convms vehicle table. Okay, so the title data source and the data source properties or to the table name. Okay, so we have a table name over here. Data source will be convms vehicle table, and we have a title data source also will be the same convms vehicle table, and we will save it. Okay, so now we have saved it. Other than this, we will go ahead, will apply the detail master form to the design. So this is a third form actually we are preparing in our series. So this is a main form, so we will click on the design pattern. So forms actually works on the design pattern, so we will give the detail master form. Okay, so now this is given detail masters, as required by the pattern, add an action pane, control name form action pane. Okay, so add an action pane, a new action pane. So over here one action pane is now added, and on the action pane, data source, set the title data source property to the table name, that is okay. Apply that to the design as required by the pattern. Add an action pane, control name form action, and name form action pane. Okay, so whenever you are preparing it, uh, change the name to form action pane. Okay, and if you see the preview, it will come like this. Okay, if you add a form action pane over here. Then once the form action pane is created, add a group control called navigation list group. Okay, so we if you go to the design level, you will see that there is a group missing. So in that case, you can right click over the it and click on the new one, and the one which it is was showing is what was that? It was group. Okay, so we have to add a group now. So let's add a group, new, and click on the group over here. What will happen if you add the group? You will see in the preview, if I save it, you will see a group will be added. Okay, so we will give the group called, this section is used in the details view so that the user can change records without going back to the list view. Okay, so then the task for the navigation list group are similar to the simple list pattern, so the steps will be summarized here. Okay, now we have already prepared this simple list pattern. Okay, so we will go ahead and we will prepare it under the navigation list group control. Create a quick filter control and name it navigation quick filter. Okay, so we have to add a navigation list group. Okay, so if I go over here, there is a tab missing actually. We will give it, just change the name to form control. Okay, so now we have added the form control. Under the form control, there is a quick filter control required and a grid is required. Okay, so under the navigation list group control, navigation list group, where is the navigation list group? This is the navigation list group. So there is a group required. Okay, 1 minute. Let me go back. What it is saying? Apply the pattern group control. The add a group control called navigation list group. Okay, so we will give this the name as required. Okay, navigation list group. Now this navigation list group, navigation list group, the task for the navigation is similar to simple list pattern. Okay, under the navigation list, create a quick filter, name it navigation quick filter. Okay, a quick filter, let's add the quick filter over here. We will add a quick filter over here, new quick filter. This is added. Let's rename it to control A, control V. Navigation quick filter. Now it is added. Navigation quick filter. Then create a grid control name, navigation grid. Let's add the name navigation grid. New grid, navigation grid. So we have now added a group also. The set the data source property of the grid control to the convms vehicle table. What is actually the grid? If you add the grid and you will refresh it, now we will give the uh, data source to the grid. So the data source to the grid is same. We will save it, and then once it is saved, we will go ahead and add the vehicle ID and name field by dragging them from the data source. Okay, so over here we have to add the vehicle ID and name. So we will, and from the data source there are fields, and from the fields we will drag this name to, let's wait for 1 minute. Yes, so fields is added. No, this is not required. We will delete it. Okay, so now we have added in the navigation grid, we have added the vehicle ID and name. So we will add the vehicle ID and name field. Okay, so vehicle ID and name field, this is the vehicle ID, and over here vehicle ID and name is added. We will save it. Once we save it, we will have this. These fields will be available to us over here. Okay. Now by dragging a field node, okay, fine. So now we have complete the quick filter control with target control as the grid control and default column as required. Now complete the quick filter control. Let's see how to create. So for this, whenever I was stuck in this particular scenario, what I do, I normally go to the each node and see whatever is left. Okay, I believe at the design level we have a tab missing. And before coming to the tab, complete the quick filter control with target control as grid control. Uh, 1 minute, quick filter control. The target control, yes, this is the target control. Under the target control, we have to give the navigation control. So actually for one quick filter, there can be a number of grids. So multiple grids can be there. That's why we are using, we need to define the under the target control to which it is linked. Okay, and default column as desired. So we will also give the default column also over here. So there is a default column. So for this, we will give the vehicle ID as a default column and we will save it. Once we save it, then we will go ahead by checking the nodes on and under the design node. We need to create a tab control for the panel, create a new control named panel tab. We will save it. We'll go ahead. We will go over here and there is a tab control required. Okay, so we will go to the new form. We will add a tab control over here. So this is now added. Once we have added the tab control, everything is done. We will change it. We will go to the rename it. Panel tab we have now added. Okay, so now the panel tab is added. We will go to the fifth one. Add the tab page name detail panel tab first. Tab page first and then list panel tab. Add a tab page name. You need to add a tab page first. So let's add the tab page over here under the panel. Okay, before that I will preview you. Okay, so there is nothing comes under the preview. Let me add and see if that is coming. So we have added an tab page with the name control A control V detailed panel tab. So this form is now added with the detailed panel tab and then a list panel tab. So one more tab page is required. So one more panel tab page is required, new tab page. Now the detailed tab page is panel tab is finished. Okay, so we will go ahead and this is the tab page, this is the form. We will go ahead, we'll control A control V list. So firstly we have a detail, then we have a list tab panel page. Okay, now when we have added the details in the list tab panel as required by the pattern, under this control add a group control named list quick filter group control. Okay, so we will add a quick filter group first. Okay, on the list. So we need a quick filter. 1 minute, let me check at which level it is requiring. So there is a title group required, there is a detail list required, but I'm not seeing. Let's complete the list panel tab control first. List tab panel control first. Okay, so we are at the last stage and under this list tab panel control as required by the pattern, under this add a group control. Okay, so we have to add a group control and this is the group I'm going to add now. So we have a grid over here. Okay, so let's add the group. Now this group is added. We will change the name to the group list quick filter group. So we have now added the, let's see if the preview is available. So now you can see the preview is getting enabled. Okay, so we have a list and then we have added a list quick filter group. So let's complete the list panel tab page as required. Grid control named list grid and a grid control named list grid. Let's give this a name list grid. Okay, so let me come to the pattern form so that we can complete it. It is asking for the grid. So let's add a grid over here, and over here we will go to the grid form, and over here we will give the name to the list grid. Okay, once this is done, we will go to the preview list grid. Let's see, this is now completed. Complete the grid control data source property and the overview field group property for the data group property. Now what we will do, we will add the data source property. So for the list grid, whenever a grid is coming up, we have to give the data source property to it. So where is the data source property? This is the data source property. Let's give the data source property. We will give the data group property, overview as a data group property, and what it is asking for the data group property. We will complete the list quick filter in the same way as we did for the simple list form. Apply the custom and quick filter pattern to the control. Okay, let's go ahead, and over here we will go for the pattern. You will apply the pattern of custom and quick filters pattern. So this is now added. We will try to save it. Once we will save it, we will complete the list quick pattern, add a quick filter control and name it list quick filter. Okay, add a quick filter control. Let's add a quick filter control over here, new, and let's add a quick filter control. Where is our quick filter control? This is the quick filter control. What happens after adding the quick filter control? If you go above, there is a quick filter control added. If I delete it, see what happens. And if I save it, and then if I go to the pattern form, quick filter, so that is actually on the list, we will get a filter also, so that's why it is required. So we'll go ahead and we will add the quick filter, and on the quick filter we will control A control V list quick filter, we will save it. So now the list quick filter is added. Okay, so now once the list quick filter is added, quick filter eliminate, complete the control by referencing it to grid control. We named the last grid. Okay, so quick 1 minute. What it is saying? Then add a quick filter control and immediately complete the control by referencing it to grid control. We need to reference it to the grid control. 1 minute. Target control as the list grid. Default column, let's say list grid of vehicle ID, and then we will save it. Okay, we named it list grid. The list page, the list panel page now states that we will need main grid default action. We'll go to the list panel tab page first. List panel tab page first is asking for a command button. Okay, so this is the command button. Add a command button to the list one named list grid default action button. Let's see what happens with the command button. Okay, so we have to add over here a command button. So we will add, right click on it, new command button. So once we have added the command button, we will change the name of it, control A control V list grid default control. We will save it. The preview will change. Okay, it is taking some time. Basis on your machine performance, it will update. Okay, so add a command button to the list page. So now this is done. We are on our next section. On the list grid control, enter the list grid default action button for the default action property. Okay, so we will go to the list grid control, and on the list grid control, what we need to do, enter the list grid control default action for the default action property. There is a default action property over here. Where is the default action property? Default action label is there. Default action property. So the default action property. So this action we have now added. Control S. Okay, so now we have added this. We will go now to which is the behavior group, which is in the behavior group. So I have shown you there. Now moving to the details panel pattern element. So we will go to the details panel pattern now. Let's go to the detail. So this is, I believe, we will go to the pattern level and we will see everything at the list grid. Everything is done. Everything is done. Seems to be okay. We have now in the list page, it's okay. Details. So it is actually on the details panel tab. It is showing that there is a title and details tab is missing. Okay, so this we need to fill out. Moving to details panel pattern element, reselect the details panel tab page control and add a group control named details title group. Let's add this as a detail title group. So we will go to the add a group. This is your group and over here give it a name. Name will be details title group. Okay, so let's add it details title group and then add a string control name details header title for the heading title. Okay, so details header title, one more string control is required, so we will add at the details level, we will add a over here only, I believe, yes, a string is required, so we will go to the add and we will go for the string. This is the string. Now on the string I will go and control V details header title, and on the details header title I will also mention the label also. Okay, so data source, now this is the data source. Actually it will take the source and the field of the source of the header will be shown. Okay, the data source property to and the data method to title fields. Okay, so there is a data method to the title fields we will add. 1 minute. Detail title field to the, let's wait for some time, it is taking for the refresh. Now we are almost done. We have to follow few steps only. Just be with me and follow these steps. What actually it is doing, it will create a detail master form. This will take, once you are doing it for the first time, it will take some time, and next time it will show you the, it will come automatically. Okay, so this may be because of this error. Actually it is asking that you have not added the pattern. Maybe it is not taking time. Let's yes, now 1 minute. What it is saying, add a string control data over data, it set the data source to and data method property to title fields. Let me directly put in this one, and over here I will go for the save. Now once this is done, the title fields, checking our progress against the pattern, we will see that we need to add a details tab pattern element. So we will go to the details tab pattern element. Yes, now we will see the pattern. This is done. This seems to be a tab page is missing. Let me check if it is asking for the tab. Check progress. We will see that we need a details tab pattern element. Need a new tab control to the detail tab panel. Controlling details tab. Okay, so one tab we will also add over here. So we will go right click and then add the tab page. Similarly, you have to follow this. Class will be important for you once you are creating a main table, because this will be utilized. This pattern will be actually utilized for making any type of form in the D365 finance and operations against the main form. Okay, so now we have added the details tab page as well. I will save it. Now it is asking for under the detail tab also there is a tab page required. Okay, so if I go over here, I will see that there is a vehicles page. Under this there is one more section now added over here. Okay, so now details tab is added. Add a new tab page, name details tab journal, and apply field and group pattern. Okay, so what we will do, we'll go to the details tab. Now we will go to the pattern actually, and over here it is asking for a tab page. So new tab page will be now added. Under this new tab page, we will change the name of this new tab page to the details tab journal, and then we will apply the pattern as specified in the PPT. Okay, so apply the pattern and apply the field and field groups, I believe. Yes, so it was asking the field and field groups only. Yes, the first page, the first tab is usually named this and shows key information about the record. Create a label for the general vehicle table and use it in the caption property. So I will directly put it in the caption property over here, and here we go. We will save it and we will go for the preview over here. So now general vehicle details, this is will be added, and there is a vehicle also. This is now added for us. Okay, so now what we need to do is we are on the last stage. In this case, we simply drag the details field groups from the 1 minute. Let me check. Add a new page. This is the general vehicle details. That's it. That is done. Tab page done. Last scene is okay. In this case, we will simply drag the details field group from the conv image table source, but feel free to reorganize the field. Okay, so details field page, uh, details field group. So we will leave it. So now I believe when you now you know how to what is the use of it. Okay, so we will add it over here, and once we add it, all the fields will automatically come up. So I hope now you are getting the point. When I have created on that table, I have created the field groups. Okay, so if you have not gone through it, please check the series. Please follow each and every video to learn the D365 finance and operation from scratch. Okay, so now this details tab is now added. Now what we need to do is we will need to create a display menu item that we will also create, but before that I will save it and I will start from scratch. I will start from the starting actually, and we will see what in the pattern we are missing. Okay, so now we are at the design level, things are okay. Form level no problem, navigation level no problem, navigation level no problem, navigation grid no problem, then panel tab no problem, details panel tab no problem, details title group no problem, header no problem, details tab page it's fine, tab page it's fine, list page fine. This is now done, this is now done, and everything is looks to be fine. So this particular pattern, if you will follow in any of the module, okay, you will be able to get it. Okay, so using this, your fields are now added. There will be few things like over here. This is I believe something related to my menu item, which is the enum which I have shown in the table level also. We will resolve it, but more or less this will be the this will be the section from where you can start creating your own forms as well. Okay, now what you need to do is we need to create a menu item, and now finally completing the reference. So we will go with this one. We need to create a display menu item. So let's create a display menu item over here. So we have already prepared two display menu items, so we will prepare this one. Add new item, and on the new menu item, this is the display menu item. So display menu item, we'll need to create display menu item using the same label as the table, but we will need default form view option to grid so that we can get the list view when the form is opened. Okay, so display menu using the same label as the table, but we will need to default form view option to grid. Okay, let's create the display menu item. The display menu item will be con vms vehicle table, on VMS vehicle table. Okay, so let me rename it. Now we have added it, the display menu item. Against the display menu item, we will get some properties. So this is the display menu item which is prepared now. Against this display menu item, we will go ahead. We will need to do display menu, but we will need default form view option to grid. Default form view option, default Is there any property like this? Yes, there is a property default form view. Form view to grid. Okay, so form view option we will take it as grid, and then what we need to do is needs records. No. Okay, image label. We will go ahead with the object is form, object type is form. We will go ahead with con VMS vehicle table. This is the form. Then object type is created. Control S, save it. To grid, so that we get the list view when the form is open. Next, click on the form ref property of the table and add it. Form ref property of the table for convms vehicle table. This is the master table, and over here there is the form ref property. So over here we need to provide the con vms vehicle table. Okay, now table is connected with my display menu item. Now finally add the menu item to our menu under the vehicle section. Okay, so where is our menu item? Menu basic num display menu item is there. Where is our menu item? Menus. Okay, so let's add it over here, and under the vehicles we will add our display menu item. So this is our display menu item. We will add it under the vehicles tab. Now this is done. Okay, so vehicle section, add the menu item to our menu under the vehicle section. What I will do, I will try to debug it, and if nothing, no error comes up, I will show you in the on the screen. And if any error comes up, we will check at the end of the form section when all the forms will be added under the module. Okay, so now it should not take much time, and if time will be there, I will also create I will also use that I will also fix that enum, okay, which is coming as blank right now. Okay, let's wait for some time. Once it is done, we will complete it. Build step is now getting completed. Just wait for some time so that we can see this particular defeat. I think it will take time. In the next section, I will firstly I will come and will work on it. Okay, or we will work on the forms level when all the errors we will rectify once. Okay, once we have all the this particular module available to us in our D365. Okay, so I will close the session now, and we all these errors and all the forms I will show you in the end of the section. But yes, the form which we have prepared is over here, which I have shown you from the form section if you go, and I also have shown you how you can add the form reference to the table using the display menu item. Okay, so we will go ahead with the on VMS form vehicle table which we have prepared today. So this type of form will come up to you. Okay, once I will show you at the front end level. So thank you. Thanks.